Hoping. Or just hoping. Right now I'm hoping my glasses clean up. Nice. Because I don't want to... I don't want to go wash them. But I mean, I need my glasses. And let's see. Let's look for a place to guide the conversation, the recap. So, yes, Kathy, I think you're first. Welcome. So, hey, Gigi. V-A-C-A-T-I-O-N. It looks like you're having a good time. Silent viewer here, if you remember. Oh, hi, Kimberly. Welcome. Shaken but not stirred. Hello. I never catch you live on the first. Well, today's the day for it. Things have been complicated at home because we're trying to move in the same amount of time that we're trying to do everything else. So I didn't have time to take like 4 hours worth of notes on her. So, Julia, hello. Oh, this was from yesterday's video. If you didn't see, we did a international tasting, intercontinental tasting, and we did Africa. So we had some different foods from a couple different countries. You know, wasn't bad. They're not too crazy, but they're crazy enough. Hello, Renee. Welcome. They're just enough, you know, because it's just uncertainty, and that's scary. So I hope you're having an amazing weekend too. But as we approach, you know, by the middle of this week, and then they want us out by one date, and then there's the legal date that we have to leave. Hey, Andy, how are you? So I guess we'll see. Whatever. No love lost, actually, for having lived here for so long. It's kind of like, you know, you don't feel welcome, even if you're paying, you know. So, such is life, such is life. I think it's time for a cigarette already. So, who's been keeping up with our fair lady, Miss Foodie Beauty? Because it seems like she hasn't slept in a week, because she's up all day and all night talking about how she's definitely not jealous of Nader and Dee Dee. So, not yet, Christine. We're getting there. We're looking at 1 tomorrow and 2 on Monday. So, yeah, moving sucks. But hopefully we'd like the place. You don't have to do it too often. So, hello! You made your first drink? Ah, Tog, V. Gates. Cute Toto, bless the rains down in Africa. I had that going through my head as we were putting it together. I felt the conflict of, I want to talk about someplace I don't know about and I just learn new information about. But when you have no base for comparison, sometimes the observations are shallow a little bit. But I felt like we did. Yeah. Yes, she is jealous. She's spent probably 20 hours in the last 4 days. And then just now that if she's still on, she looks like shit. So, hey, Miss McPhoebe. 6 hours packing and moving into storage. I'm exhausted. Yeah, take a rest, Denise. That's a lot. She's not jealous. She's very not jealous. Hello. Oh, from Chicago, Mom. Hello, hello. So, she's still on? How is she awake? Someone said she had taken a large dose of THC. I don't know if she understands that she probably can't drive for 2 days without being intoxicated right now. THC takes as long as it's going to take to metabolize. It just is. It's like having a drink and it comes down 1 drink per hour if you've been loaded. I mean, you can't rush things along with that, which makes her unsafe. I hope she knows that she's not safe to be out and about. So, I don't get the notification. I'm not subscribed. I used to subscribe because I thought the least I can do if I'm gonna talk about her. I don't use her material like 99% of the time, but if we're gonna talk about her, I thought maybe it would be in my best interest to at least support the fact she's on YouTube, because her presence makes a video like this. So, I don't know. But even like I said, keeping up with the whole week, the couple bullet points. Let me go back to another time and place. I was going through some of the reactions and then going through hers. Edibles aren't generally a great thing for fatty liver. No, I wouldn't think so. Yeah, she's she's not just high. She has not just eaten edibles. If she can wake up long enough to dispute that, good for her. But she looks wrecked. She looks wrecked, and I used to friggin' smoke when I was younger, and it didn't look like that. So, April, hello. How are you? Welcome. So yeah, I have a couple thoughts about some stuff that happened this week, but the bulk of it is just, I don't know if my bullshit tolerance is lower, maybe, than it usually is, but we were watching the videos this week, and the embrace of being a victim, it's almost comforting to her to be referred as such. She has makeup on and she's going out. She always paints herself up like that. Hello, Torian Mail. Udon baby, how you doing? She still hasn't canceled HelloFresh. Yeah. Somebody said, what was I watching? One of the live. Like, she doesn't really clean her room. She just moves shit from one side to another, pretty much. And then when it's trashed, she'll stay downstairs on the couch. So, it is unbelievable. I mean, I'm not easily, obviously, shocked. I've done things myself, but yes, the leaked DD call. Sketchy about it being recorded, but now that it's out there, I don't know. I think it goes to a point of saying that there's no, I don't want to say no victims, but they were and are making choices that don't line up with the accusation. Her thinking that he manipulated both of them, like they were both manipulated. This is like volleyball. Chantal is going to tell us what's going to happen next to Dee Dee. And then when Dee Dee's on her way out, he'll bring another girl in. It's just the kind of person he is. Now, I think that's fucking lousy, but I'm not trying to date him, so I don't have to worry about it. I just wish, and I don't care what the fuck either of them say, I wish they felt a little better about themselves so they wouldn't settle for so little, you know? But Chantal has a hell of a lot of self-work and self-care to do before she's date ready. She wasn't this time. The evidence? She got sucked in and bled dry. And someone swooped in and took her man. So, never talk, Mare. Hey, Mare. No, she is. She'll be talking about them again. It's just how she rolls. So, uniquely Erica. Hello, how are you doing? How many of the harem is left? Ugh, I don't know. Speaking of harems, the beezers are ridiculous today. The ridiculous amount. Not one person in there who says they care about her said, hey, are you feeling okay? You look comatose. That might upset her, so they won't raise a concern that they think might bother her, because you know how she gets. That's abuse language right there. You know, don't make her angry, you know how she gets. That's wielding power as well. And doing it among, like, very vulnerable internet people, it's a lousy thing to do. It's just a very lousy thing to do. I know that doesn't mean shit. The KOC. Mm-hmm. Whatever. But yeah, I mean, if Mark or I made a live and it looked like, you know, let's say in about half an hour from now, I was so assed out I couldn't keep my head up. Somebody would ask, what makes a date-ready foodie beauty? 10 years of inpatient treatment by aggressive intensive outpatient, followed by medication management, and probably a self-help group. I'm not a doctor, though. I'm just putting it out there. I've been in similar situations. You think she's going to get matching apartments? No. No. All these little ideas of her sometimes are just like little farts in the wind. Like, something comes through her head, she gets excited about it. What else was she going to do? She was going to go to Italy. She was going to open her own dispensary. Gonna, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Telling everyone for the rest of her life what she was going to do, but she's just too tired. And things are really complicated right now. Everybody gets tired and has complicated lives. In different ways, you know, but I don't know. Weird as fucking painfully sad. So, I don't know. But beezers I have a low tolerance for, because I was watching them as they were coming through. Because I was watching her live up until pretty much we started. Until we just sat down. I mean, how could people who allege to care give 1 cent contributing to this condition of this person. Now, she's not responsible for them being idiots and throwing money, but I did see that Udon boy. See, this is the thing. He gave her a kiss, and Chantal was convinced, this is another thing, that all of it is just a big plot to make her jealous. She is so, I don't mean this as like an insult as much as an observation. She's so self-centered. Directly as that sounds, self-centered, not thinking about other stuff or other people going on. She doesn't have to be nice. Most people, you know, you're nice or you're not. Hello, green bluish, how are you? Knights of Chantal, they have dubbed themselves. They go across YouTube and defend her. The narcissism is unbelievable. He's only kissing Dee Dee to get back at me. He's only doing this to get back at me. You can keep talking to your phone until you're 50. Both of those people are going to probably break up eventually because they're both sick as shit and go on with their lives. 10 years later, are we going to have another stream of sitting here going, I don't know. She didn't get gonorrhea. Yeah, it's the get over yourself thing. She loves the victim identity. I can't, you know, put my finger on. I can see it a little bit. When I was young, like I said, I've said in lives before that I see a lot of my old self and a little of current self in Chantal. You know, I had a substance use issue, so instead of maturing, I drank. So that left me off at 30 being about as mature as a 20-year-old. But, you know, so it goes. But the idea that everything only exists in relationship to me, that we don't exist because she's never seen us before. She doesn't have an understanding of a world outside her own, that there's people living their lives and doing things and going on with it that have nothing to do with her. Not every bit of their behavior is a commentary on Chantal. She wants it to be, so she can think they're still talking about her. But if they're busy making shit food and drinking cheap wine and having smokes, hey, she won. Sorry. No prize if it makes you feel better. Brumo, hello. Deep fried denial, yeah, with cream gravy. I'm not sure they had a choice to admit they're together after the lead call. Yeah, you can't write a script that fast. Hey Jay, how are you? She's not good at thinking on the spot so much. Like when she went over and he threw the laptop in her face and said, say this, pretty much. But I doubt Nader's gay, but him being abusive. I want to feel sympathy for Dee Dee, but she put herself. So did Chantal. Anything Chantal has to say about Dee Dee has been said about her, and she don't get it. She's not looking at Dee Dee as though she would want to be cautionary. Like, Dee Dee, I got sucked into this. Hey, T-girl, I got sucked into this. Don't get yourself sucked into it. You know, like or hate or whatever. But just, you know, if you want to do something for her, give her the heads up. And if she doesn't believe it, then I don't know what to tell you. Then that reminds me of Shannon, actually. But do you think Dee Dee and Nader are making it official? This is real nail in the coffin? I don't know. She's between ragingly upset and intoxicated, and not much in the middle. If she thinks she's coping with this, she's not. You know, she's just not. She's just distracting herself, and it's not about love, it's about ego at this point. You know, it's not like I still secretly... Well, maybe tomorrow she'll still secretly love him, because we don't know what went on behind the scenes. But nevertheless, I wouldn't be surprised if Nader was bi, but I'm usually surprised by people who are bi, I guess. Either because I think I can pick it out or I don't know it. He's a pig. As long as he was with a guy that he perceived as less masculine than him, it's not a threat to his masculinity. And that's not just Nader. That has established itself in other cultures where men behave a certain way. And it's only YouTube Reject Live. Hello, hello, hello. Swingers. Who could love him? Mom. Somebody better. But what a catch. What a catch. Oh, thanks, YouTube. This is for a video we did yesterday. We did a quick, impromptu, you know, little tour of Africa, trying food from some of the different countries, and then Mark has his fun facts and all that stuff. So definitely check it out if you're interested. It's a good video. It's a little long. Maybe you want to listen. I don't know. But it's a good video. It's definitely a good video. So her being the center of attention, of course, Wasn't he on a guys only line? Wouldn't being with Chantal be enough to turn you gay? I don't know about me, but last time I saw her fupa pop out, I lost my last shred of heterosexuality. Gone. I was like, I didn't know that could happen. That's it. We're done. I think his personality is dominant, controlling, not that different from hers either. So I can see how I think the power gets him hot. And exerting physical power during intimacy may include that, or doing what you want without someone's permission, like the sodomy charge she raised. I don't know if I believe her, but if it did happen, I'm telling you, she bled. A lot. Given what she's told us about his 18-inch dick. You know, it goes in and it practically shoots out her mouth. But Chantal basically outed him. There's proof on websites of him saying he's bi. Yeah, he could be bi. I don't know. Bi doesn't necessarily mean for Nader, though. This is the thing. He may have sex with men. Safe, unsafe, whatever. He may have sex with men, but he would never get into a relationship, I don't think, with a man. A financial arrangement with someone he's not attracted to? Well, that's happened. But he would seek out someone that he would perceive to be lesser or weaker than him, whether it was a man or a woman. I think it's generally a woman for him, but, you know, end of the night, after last call, everyone looks better. And they all think it means that they're attractive. Like ugly people don't sleep around. I don't know. Something about a contract, and he and Dee Dee were talking about a contract with him being Dom. Meanwhile, that how does nothing. Well, I mean, I don't want to compare and say she does nothing and we do something. I mean, I'm commenting on her nothing. Let me stay right-sized here as best I can. Exactly, Andy. Somebody to dominate. Somebody to dominate. Somebody to feel less than him. I suspect he wouldn't carry on an open relationship with a man. I don't think he'd have any relationship that wasn't sexual or financial. Any hole is a goal, I wouldn't be surprised, Donna. Some things don't need to be said. You know, and not that a person dances necessarily a certain sort of way, if they're a certain sort of, but he dances like he's on a big celebrating pride float. Just with the hip wiggle and that kind of shit. I don't know. But, I mean, he's not attractive to me. Really. Like, I used to drink mouthwash, and I think even then I wouldn't have gone that far. But that's just... yeah. Otherwise, this week, besides the Dee Dee jealousy thing, which blew my mind, and the fact that she was so hammered just today, and the day's not over at all. She probably, you know, like, she sleeps till 6 in the evening. But then lately she's been up all night, high. So, I don't think he's attractive to most people. I don't think so either. I mean, love's blind, you know, definitely. And there's a lid for every pot. So, you know, I'm not saying they'll never find anyone, but they really don't like each other. So, what would make me hang out with a person I didn't like? Well, if I had no integrity, money. And if I had no caution, drugs. And I think sometimes it's simple as that. She's mentioned she liked the lifestyle more than with him. I think she just wanted to go out and be 25 and party. Yes, Marty, we're doing good. Packing starts soon. Where we're putting the shit, we'll see. But it starts soon. Very soon. So, yeah, Chantal out of her mind, wasted. Information exposing that this was, you know, she was involved in. But Chantal trying to spin it like, oh, we were both coerced. There's consenting adults can do whatever they want. And if they don't consent, I understand it's not always an option for someone who's being immediately abused to say no because of fear of what else could happen. But she lived through it and then went back to it again. Gleefully. And rubbed it in our faces that he was, too. Oh, I'm so jealous. Chantal opened the doors of self-centeredness for him. Yeah. He was, yeah. We just kind of become desensitized. Like when this was, oh, what time of month is it now? It's usually up now until almost the beginning of the month that the drama peaks. So, borderline blackout drunk, excessively high. I don't think anyone respects. she's found herself in some bad situations under the influence. I don't know if she makes a connection between that. Doesn't mean she's abusing them, but if she's going to be in mixed company with people she doesn't entirely trust or stupidly does, she should not be wasted. Or, you know, as high as she is today. Yeah, Greenie, that's what I mean. Like, it's easier sometimes to keep it to yourself because you're afraid of the repercussions afterwards. So you know, I can appreciate that part. But she went back and forth between loving it and being abused by it. So she loves the D, but she doesn't like it. So she just wants to have it her way. She wants this whole thing to go her way and not cost more than $2,000 a month. So Chantal ruined her life money over a man who's just... Exactly. Udon baby. It's just what she's not going to realize the damage it's done to her life to ignore it for 10 months. For anything else, but especially for a guy. I mean, I never looked so forlorn over a guy as she... Well, I would never put myself on camera and, you know, probably go on and on about all the people who definitely want to sleep with me. But I have to keep them at arm's length because, you know, the men. With the taxes due, with the rent due, with, you know, how many different outlets and channels are we going to charge our same 28 beezers to subscribe to watch her on OnlyFans and all the other places that she wants to appear. There's not a huge crowd that follows her. And now the comments are down, or they were last I checked. So, Moki, hello. Oh, you know the iPad's not paid off yet. What an idiot. Why would she get anything with an interest rate if she could pay cash outright? I don't suspect she has credit. She has a high income, which is a consideration for lines of credit. But she has, what is it, bankruptcy? Maybe an upcoming eviction? I don't know. Neo break. People are sick and bored, Drummo. I agree, but also her sub count went up a couple hundred, if not 200-300, just in the last week. I mean, drama sells. People like it. For someone who makes a fortune off of it, she says she hates it, but, you know, sorry, a lot of people hate their jobs. You could find something else to do. She gets big with the drama. She gave him... He could barely do math. Well, he can't measure cups, ounces, anything in the kitchen as far as sizes go. So that's kind of his... Have you guys been keeping up? I know some people do or don't like Mary Cap MC. I adore it. I think it's like some of the driest, funniest commentary. To attack specifically his cooking, you know, not after his other personality flaws, but his lie about being good at cooking when he's not. So, her weight changes every hour. Yes, this is true. I think someone had to come in. There was a space that opened up for critique about his cooking, and she found it, and now she has the platform to talk about it. And she's funny as hell. Funny as hell. You wouldn't even have to know who Nader is to watch this cooking video and her commenting on a person who's wasting food. Essentially. I mean, if food's inedible, you might as well throw it out. So, oh, I know T-Girl. She's funny as hell. She's so good. Well, we'll see. I don't think Mark... I'm going to see if Mark will be joining us. I don't know if Mark will be joining us. Nader didn't know what a BLT was. I'm cruising through right now, just sayings, just to remind myself of some of the things that went on. But there's so much more on other places. Should really do cooking reviews. Yeah, babe. And she found it, and I'm glad she did, because I think she does it really well. I think she has some background in what she's talking about. I believe her saying, with only a narrator's voice, that she worked in fine dining. I will take that over any evidence Nader tries to present that he's an actual chef. She encouraged him to cook the shellfish so she doesn't have to try it. Dee Dee probably could have had food poisoning a few times, you know. Very nervous about losing my job at this point. The other two are completely unemployable. Yeah. Who's gonna hire? I mean, even McDonald's. Let's say Chantal walks into McDonald's instead of doing the drive-thru and asks for an application. I'm sure a lot of folks at McDonald's don't like their jobs as much either, but, bills don't pay themselves. There will always be a crew of people who will support Chantal. These are like the flat earth, believe none of what you see and all of what you read on fringe sites. Is Egyptian food really like that he can't mess up? Well, I thought that too. I thought he was going to make stuff that he was familiar with from his family. That kind of thing. They wouldn't hire her. No, she's too much of a liability, probably. If you hire Chantal, you are inviting a lawsuit. Do I like the lives or the videos better? For covering her, I'll be honest. Truth, I like doing the video better, but I couldn't give it the decent amount of, the appropriate level of attention I like, with the limited time that we've had this week. So, Mark's out now getting groceries, so when he comes back... I will say this, though. I can understand why she does lives, because lives are lives. If they're done well, to a degree, are a little more difficult. If it's an open chat, that's cool. Our topic tonight is Chantal, and what the fuck is pretty much, my assessment with that. No, with her, she'd be great in, customer service. Or a student loan collection rep. She'd keep calling. She'd make the sale. So, why not telemarket her? She loves to be on the phone with no one who wants to talk to her. Haul video. Now, let's see what he's got. So, what makes you decide to do it live? Usually it's the amount of time I have to prepare and the amount of time I have to sit down and put pen to paper. Today, we were playing catch-up, Mark and I, on her videos, and I had stopped and did some earlier in the week just to be kind of what's on. But videos are easier. They're straight up easier in a lot of ways. There's no editing, generally. Hey, Jake, how are you? There's nothing to... you just get dressed up and talk, pretty much. And, you try to keep it on topic. I have a challenging time keeping it on topic outside of the general love, Chantal. And she's not playing well with others, too. Do I go to Kiwis? Not if I can help it. You miss the Zoom videos where I'd go through the entire week, every single video of what happened. It's impossible. I have a full-time job. I can't sit around all day and make videos about her. Not the kind I like to make. So, if I was good at a quick stiletto to the ribs of making a good kind of, here, you video, then that'd be fine. But it usually takes me at least 20 minutes to flesh it all out. I'm a little wordy. Just a little bit. You can't even do it, but your notes are great. You don't miss anything. Well, good. I'm glad you feel as such. So, I can't cover 100 hours. Yeah. She needs more attention than that. You think you see Chantal's silhouette in the background? You're terrible, Jay. Yeah, she used to put out a video a day. And when she was in her lazier periods, 3 videos a week. Sometimes I would be sitting down and I could watch all of them the same day the video was done. And go through her videos. It's unavoidable. You can utilize channels that condense the material. But beyond that, some of it you just gotta see for yourself. I didn't want to have anyone's reaction but my own when I watched her high as freak. They always stop cooking their dinner after 11 p.m. They only start cooking. Well, they eat continental, I guess. None of them do anything. They could sleep all day, I suppose, if they didn't have anywhere to go. I wouldn't eat Nader's food, though. The time warps when she put effort. The time warps were so cool. And let me give me 3 minutes to what could be redeemable or what well, okay, we're not going to say redeemable because that's projecting. Let's say she's moderately less of a monster. Would be a start. Yeah, Dee Dee has like a job and other shit to do. But Dee Dee right now is filling the place Chantal used to. Chantal doesn't understand that she is now in the past tense. She might be good for a quick lay here or there as far as he's concerned, but that's probably it. It'll never be what she told us it was, and it'll never be what she wants to be. I don't think. Can't even come with the community post. Oh my god, because the community posts go up, down, and now there's no comments. So, coming up. The fire alarm. His food is burnt, undercooked. Yeah, I don't smoke in the kitchen I'm a smoker, but I don't smoke in the kitchen when I'm cooking with it hanging out of my mouth. Especially if you're not feeding other people. I'm sure, like, I think he thinks part of his channel, like he's, Emerald, that there'd be a huge crowd around the island watching him and be so impressed. He's not so proficient in English, and he doesn't care to talk much, even if I think he was. So he just grunts at the food, and then makes a big deal over some really stupid technique that nobody uses, but he insists is better. So this is how, like, conspiracy idiots and stuff think. America, we have a lot of these, but, Zero chemistry. Yes, there was zero chemistry. Holy shit, and I'm very ashamed. I don't know. For a fire, for her to cut her finger. All she has to do is fall down the... All she has to do is go to bed. She's hitting that, hit or miss territory with whether you're going to wake up in the morning. Yeah, I can't understand what he said. I have the captions on, and the captions try real hard, but they can't keep up with him either. So. Favorite Chantal moment? I don't know. My favorite reaction to a Chantal moment is YouTube Underground doing the cheese graveyard a few Halloweens ago. And Chantal's looked like shit. It was just an excuse to eat a bunch of cheese. And she threw on a dollar store pink wig and talked about the Heaven's Gate unalive cult. That was the dinner discussion. I know, dumpster fire is the word, Nicole, because it does. It just goes in circles over and over. She'll bring in enough new beezers every time. I mean, the comments they were making in the video today were ridiculous. Like, patting her on the ass for being so over it. She showed her pictures. Pies and lies. Yeah. I don't watch as much. Human Element. Well, welcome. Yeah, that was before Nader. That was when she was just eating a lot. I would love to go back to just silently judging her for being so fat. It was easier content to cover. You knew she was going to blow it because she's just not ready for any kind of change, and she hasn't been for years. She's always going to do something, never on her game. Always going to do something. Yeah. Praised like a baby walking for the first time. Yeah, she gets out of bed and cleans it. Her room. She's almost 40. Okay, now I've only been 40 for like, not even a month. But I can tell you, things change when you hit 40. Lobster mac and cheese fart was the most memorable. Oh, the lobster mac and cheese. Is that, she had that one or another time, when she was still living with BB, and she had bought stuff, groceries, to have over the week because she was trying to get healthy or whatever. And she got up at like 5 in the morning, never went to bed, and was up at 5 in the morning zooming, eating the mac and cheese she bought for the next day. Some of the regular beezers, they probably dared step out of line. So, overreacted to the cheese gravy. I like the cheese gravy. The nights for Chantal. Yeah, they're nothing. It's like beezers. It's a little way to feel like you're part of a club. To feel like you're part of something. Not that community and fellowship and whatnot isn't good, but the common denominator is don't make her mad, you know how she gets. Well, that sounds like you're afraid of her. If you're afraid to say something to her because of her reaction, then what do you really think of her? Yes, the cheese graveyard was hilarious. When BB was peeing on the bowl, she said, I could never support a man. And then Nader. Yeah. She could, but she just had to let other shit go, like her taxes. Which, we have a small channel, and you can check us out on, what is it, Social Blade or whatever, where you can put in the channel and see what's what. I can tell you those numbers are kind of lowballed, but ours are a little higher than they say. We're not we're not even making 4 figures a month, about half that, I would say. But there's room for it. Lambo. Everything's Nader and her food, but Nader and her food. Yeah, don't make her mad. You know how she gets. They shouldn't be afraid. You're not supposed to be afraid of your friends. You're not supposed to hold a support group hostage. The dumpster diving with James. Yeah, everything got ruined with these lives. As soon as she got on a kick of doing these, and it must make financial sense for her, I would think, or at least it did, because the super chats overfloweth still. So, you know, whatever respect I had, or whatever hope I had for her kind of pulling herself out of the situation that she's in, she's not resilient. You know, she could say, I've been through a lot of things. First of all, you haven't. Second of all, resilience is something that we learn by doing, too. When we can tolerate shit and not have it destroy us for 10 months. When a guy who gives us an STD is told to not talk to me again. I mean, do you have any pride? Not for sharing it. I know she shares her love with us. But, so that, and then she was going off this week. We have some other folks. Charlie Gold and Amberlynn Reed. Their names come up, of course. Plain Cheeseburger's still there. Yeah. Hey, MK, what's up? Spilling the beans is more fun than talking to her. It's all for her entertainment, and she doesn't realize it. No. So, but I need a cigarette. Where the frick's my lighter? So whoever's left in the VIBs, I don't know. Same people, give her money over and over. I mean, if I had no soul, I'd be inclined to do something like that too. It's very lazy work. It doesn't involve anything but humiliating yourself. So, over him in time for real? No. She's never going to be over it. It's ego now. It's not even love. It's ego. She lost. And she doesn't lose. She goes with the police. And even the shit that was alleged in the leak video, if 100% of that was true, and it sounds like it is, because we heard it from Dee Dee, who didn't know she was being recorded, so what? That doesn't make anybody look any better, if that's true. We're talking souls now? Darkness, dust, yes. I've never seen grown-ass woman act like that. I haven't either, not outside of Jerry Springer, or maybe Cops. But this kind of like, what man who has, you know, means and sophistication and kindness, hopefully, and, you know, maybe you're attracted to him. Like, all that stuff is good, but, oh. I Ain't Afraid of No Ghost video with Pete's. That was good. That was a good thing. Their mini movies weren't bad, because they were both terrible at it. It looks like they spent an afternoon filming, and they talked about it like it was, you know, a full stage set production on Broadway. If you want to see what she looks like without the filters, you can go to Pete's channel and see. Red rum. They were terrible. Yeah, it looked terrible. It looked like it was fun. But she used to have fun hanging out with Pete's. Now he's just, I don't know. She has a narcissistic injury she'll never recover. Let's see. It'll always be Dee Dee's fault. It'll always be Nader's fault. Not that she needs to make herself more lovable for abusive people. But she's just very nonchalant. I mean, for how much she cries and whines and then carries on, she's rather nonchalant about the sexual abuse part, periodically. The Beezer show, as soon as she came back, it was gone. So, Sassy Mango, hello, how are you? We'll see. Yes, darkness. That's like, well, she was never normal like other humans, I don't think. I always think she had a little bit of something. It sounds like growing up for her. people who've described similar experiences to the ones she shared have needed help as an adult because it just lingered. It never got over with. It's just still picking at old wounds. She did look drunk today, Miss T. She stoned, you know, someone said she had like a whole, what was it? The edible. If she popped the whole thing in, I think it was like 2,000 milligrams of THC. So you could probably take her teeth out right now, and I don't think she'd know this. I did see the picture of Dee Dee with the darkening. Eyeshadow? New look? Trying to cover up? I think she would put cover up on it. But unless she's silently screaming, this is her paperclip. This is her paperclip. Do you see me? I'm not saying anything, but do you see that I have... It wasn't... To me, it didn't look like a black eye. It looked like bad lighting. I don't know. Now the image of a teethless Chantal seared into my brain. Hey, them's the breaks. I'm sorry. Dee Dee drinks a lot. It's just a lifestyle. It's a whole lifestyle. And substance use has as much to do with it now as it did before. And if Mark was here, I think he'd probably, you know, 20 milligrams of CBD knocks out my high anxiety days. Well, yeah, Pete isn't malicious. He doesn't have a mean bone in his body. He's just this learned, in the mental health field, they'll call it learned dependence. Like, you become dependent on someone, and that's how you do. He's been with Chantal long enough now, and known her long enough, that he should know what's up. Thoughts on Negs in DC? I'm not as familiar with what's going on with Negs in DC. DC I used to watch more of, and Yaba I used to watch more of too. But a live that's 3 hours long, even if it's a reaction and I like the person, is just a lot. Dee Dee's just saying, help me. See what it does to people. Yeah, baby, I used to be a drinker, very heavy drinker. You wouldn't recognize me, I'm sure. At least definitely not in personality. The thoughts on the separate apartments. She's got money, but she doesn't have like an endless stream of money. Remember Vine? Remember some of the other things that were there? It could be 2 minutes. Things could change, and YouTube could be only corporate people, no small channels. And hers would be considered small compared to, like, you know, the NFL or something like that. Oh, God, that's when I worry about Pete's, because Pete's will have a blow up on his channel and get super duper angry, and he doesn't seem to have any other outlets other than grinding his teeth and yelling. That's going to be uncomfortable for him going forward. Me too, Greeny Bush, actually. I don't like yelling. I never did. My parents weren't the kind of parents that yelled, you know, unless it was for my safety. Like, you can definitely grab my arm if I'm going to touch the hot stove, you know, hurt yourself. So she came. Pete talks about politics. He doesn't like Chantal. He's just setting because he feels stuck and helpless. Yeah. He's a captive. What do they call it? Stockholm Syndrome? He's going to identify with his captor. She gets something out of that relationship with him, or she wouldn't keep him around. You know. Okay, but you're back. All right. Pete's doesn't do much for himself. And I understand that there's an assumption that he has certain challenges, but none of that's in stone for our business. You know, he was going to a therapist and trying to get some help, but there's only so many things being grosser than Chantal. Being a sad sack. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about this. Get up and leave. Put her in check. And then bounce. Charitable towards Pete's. I know I am. I know. I have an unreasonably soft spot for him that has nothing to do with the facts he's presented. It's a heart thing. I just feel like pity. And that's not something good to be on the end of either, but I feel pity for him. Not for her. Not for her. Because she always gets something out of the deal anyway. So she's not being screwed if she's made out better than the other people. roll her hair, and close it. P. Pete's was better when he was working, and I think COVID he came home to work from home. And then, oh, Chloe, black and white tuxes. I'm not sure if they're going to be matching or alternating with black, white, vest, tie, collar. But we don't have any groomsmen or bridesmaids or anything, so it's all just nice clothes for us. Hopefully. I assume we don't get another wave of COVID. So, when he was working and getting out, but he was getting out with her. Like, he can't have a life that depends on her having to help him feel better. Because she can't. Smothered her the third time after 2. Yeah. Go get my food at the door, please. Go get this. Go get that. And she can turn around and say, I pay the rent. You don't like it? Get out. I suspect if she's gotten angry at Pizza at some time, she's probably said something similar. Because she very poorly tries to bottle her anger at him. He used to be okay. Yeah. No emotional skill. Yeah, he's just not there. He doesn't have them. He doesn't, like, read social cues. He doesn't think about perception management. Not lying to make yourself look good, but just this topic of conversation spoken about this way is inappropriate. You know, every conversation could be appropriate in the right context, but his name is on the lease, so if he leaves, could she stay? I don't know. They gotta want them out of there. They have got to have people over there wanting them out. They smoke in their apartment. They're not supposed to. It's filthy. Filthy. And the excuse is what? Backup plan. See, uniquely Erica, I think that. Somewhere in my head, I think that if Chantal, that Pete still has it in, wants her, you know, or wouldn't turn it down if she came back. And he's just waiting for the day she's going to turn her head and go, Pete's, it's you that I've wanted all along. Get me a Klondike bar. So I thought that maybe because he was like an old ex, he'd be a backup. You know, good old dependable Pete, so I won't have to die alone. Pete and I will get matching apartments. You know, different friendship arrangements are like, you know, whatever. But you want to send them to their rooms. Everybody to your rooms! Now! Yeah, he's still a sucker. He has no other friends. Except for maybe some friends he has online, maybe. No, he holds a fork funny. I don't mean to go in on dumb stuff. Like, I don't go in on Nader's teeth or anything because, you know, you can't really help if you have snaggle teeth if you can't afford dental care. Or didn't come from a place they have it. But there's other things that are, you know, I don't know. People had said they thought Pete was on the autism spectrum. He suggested as much himself, but I understand he hasn't packed it all. Yes, he's in love with her. He's just thinking he's going to wait her out. And then, eventually, she'll see him as he was. She cheated on him and broke up with him 8 years ago. Talk about people that can't get over things, also. Like, Pete's let it go. If you hear the slapping of intimacy down the hall from the girl that you have a heart for, have a good cry and get over it. And then move on. So, we'll see. We'll see. I have no projections except that she's liking to spread out. Talk about karma. This is her karma. She doesn't get it. I know karma is not for this life exactly, but goes around, comes around. If you want to say there's energy behind intentions, there's a lot of ways people interpret it. Boo. Oh, you're fine. You can see the replay. We're still here now. I don't know. Amberlynn, Foodie Beauty, who else? Nikocado got brought up. A couple other creators got brought up. She just... Oh yeah, he got fat as shit when he moved in. And he gained it quick because it was all in his stomach. But the two of them moved in and just... They were doing the fat happy thing for a while. So I don't know. Chantel gets blessed in life a lot more than karma deserves. I know. But the sweet thing about that karma is that you can put literally anything in the world in front of her and she's unhappy. That's the karma. That's it. Hello, how are you? Might be swayed right now. If he had another place to go, I think he'll go. Mukbangs, yeah. a lot of weight really quickly and it can't distribute itself. And Chantal's stomach, her whole body is just so engrossed in fat cells that it doesn't disperse kind of like it would for a woman anymore. It kind of, you start to carry it in your stomach and stuff like a guy would, generally. Not always, generally. And she'll probably, when she gets older, want to get a breast reduction, skin surgery, but I don't know. You will always be unhappy. That is it. That she didn't feel good in the relationship. She doesn't feel good out of the relationship. She feels like she was lied to. Hi, BB. Hi, Pete's. Hey, what can I tell you? Karma's a bitch. Would I be... I wouldn't want her life for twice her income. I really wouldn't. I'd rather be my humble self than be so confused about life the way she is. Like, she doesn't really have any feelings for anybody else, so she doesn't do anything out of, like, compassion. It's always to get something out of something. So, all the money she gave him for cigarettes and this and that. If they're gifts, you don't bring it up in their face and scream it at them when you're upset. So it's not like if there was two people in this relationship and it failed because of him. It never should have been one. It probably wasn't, but oh well. So, no chance to clear her thoughts. Oh, yeah. Pee! He doesn't have time to think. Pee! Can you get me a rock lobster? I know, she goes on like they've been in a relationship for forever. According to him, it was a week. Now, he lies, and Dee Dee lies. And if there was any confusion about lies that were going around, some of those were confirmed, or at least backed up. Say hi to Mark. Oh, when he gets back, I will. If he's not back by now, I don't know if he'll be back. Are the neighbors deaf? No, and I hope they can smell, too. Because she's live having a J right now. Jesus, Mary and Joseph, Chantal. Let her. Let her. Something will happen that she doesn't think her fault is. And she tried to pregnate Nader out of love. But off and on for a week is like 3 days. Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. But I think she has a misunderstanding of what he found attractive about her, which was her resources. And that he didn't have to do a whole lot to get them, either. You know, often con men have to wait to get a mark to, like, turn around. But not her. All she heard was Egyptian, and she was in the car. Payday is soon. It'll be the 21st. So that's coming up in the middle of the week. And of course she's eating. She probably has, like, food in one hand and a joint in the other. Yeah, sweet. That makes sense to me that they might not. To me, it seems a little weird that they dated and are friends now. But I used to, among the boys, when I used to be out in the clubs and shit, there was always guys who, they had no friends, they had exes. That's all they had. It sounds like Chantal. But they had no real friends. They just had ex-partners that they were in relationships with, because nobody else could tolerate the amount of shit that they do. Matt's channel? I wasn't aware. Yeah. But like that, like, you don't know how some circumstances turn out in people's houses. Sometimes there's, like senior citizens who don't get married because they don't want to lose any part of their social security. You know, it's just, it's a commitment, but it's, like, made for, like, a different reason. He hasn't been in Canada long enough. I don't think he'll stay now. He'll seek refuge in the U.S. from Chantal. I don't know if they'll stop him at the border. His sub count's, yeah, been going up. Sub count goes up. Hers went up too. It's up a few hundred. Actually, let me see if it was at like 92.3 or 4 or something like that. If the guy doesn't declare you, oh, look at her eating. She put on makeup to eat. I guess that's what they mean, get ready for a date, but I don't know. So, but she had shit, I'm just looking now, she had shit to say to Amber Lynn because she didn't like Amber Lynn weighing in her business. She was thrilled to have someone bigger than her interested in her business. And then they fake fight. I mean, they're both full of shit, so I mean, I wouldn't believe either of them if that whole thing was, you know. all her cross addictions don't make her happy or compassionate. No, and she hasn't learned anything, so there's nothing to share. Like, anytime she goes into this, you know, like, you need to do this, like, she talks about weight loss, she switches to the second person. She doesn't talk about herself anymore. She talks about some hypothetical person that's in her situation. Exactly. But they're terrible, because if she stops drinking, she might still smoke. If she stops smoking, she might start drinking, or she might doing other substances, or switch back to food for a while, like she's been. I know she doesn't. She's all tough shit when she turns off the comments. That's like screaming in your closet. You're upset, and no one else has to deal with it. So go ahead. And the amount that she thinks he's obsessed with her, I think, is dumb. I think he would continue to use her if she let him. And she continues to let him, because she'll take that over love. Probably feels like it's unreachable now, but hey. I just like both of them. Neither of them are better than the other. I don't really like one better than the other. I don't know Amber as well. I have to say that, though. I know Amber's, like, horrible, notoriously, but I haven't watched enough of Amber's channel. I find it really uninteresting. Like, I don't care what happens to her. Like, she's fat. That's the channel. You know, if a thinner woman was doing all the same things, would anybody care? Koki's channel, I only watched once. Nader's channel, I've only seen it a couple times. Yeah, if she did have... Well, I mean, she had old friends, she said, like Shannon and some other folks that she used to be tight with, but then they turned on her, too, because they just couldn't stand to see her happy. You can see how happy she is today. Look! Yeah, Amberlynn's boring. I just don't find anything interesting about what she does, or her relationships, or the things she finds important I think are stupid. I guess it's a values question, then. So... Chantal's not boring. No. But there's that. Rena, I haven't heard from. There was another friend who she allegedly did the garbage picking with. Was that Rena? Rena's been in old videos from like 3 years ago. From a long, long time ago, Rena was one of her girlfriends. And like her and Pete's went to a movie or something like that and then ate. Like something real people do. Yes. And Nader gets mad at anyone who tells him the truth. They both hate it. I don't know. If he's keeping her around, then she's still paying. If she cut off the money completely, be gone. I don't know what happened to Shannon. They were pissed and they made up, and either it's just the nature of their friendship, or maybe Shannon's too forgiving, but it seems like they go back and forth with, you know, we're friends, we're not friends, we're friends, we're not friends. Rena, the dumpster diving. Yeah. She did burn the bridges. I'm pretty sure. I mean, that's what happens in that situation. Scratch notepads. What's with the journals? Amberlynn does that all the time. Journal after journal. You think she... Do you know how many she completely... She probably wrote in the first 3 pages after telling herself, promising herself, that she was going to make a diary. Shannon's dad died, so she stepped back from the internet stuff. Makes sense. I would too if her nonsense was the kind of nonsense, you know. If I had to deal with all that, you know. First of all, I don't know if I would insert myself unless I thought something bad could happen, and she did believe something bad could happen to Chantal, because Chantal called her and told her whatever lie it is today about him putting his hands on her. Grabbed her face, smacked her face, knocked her out, hit her lights out, whatever she wants to say now. It's too late. You're not more likable just because he's an asshole. That doesn't work. It's not by comparison. This isn't like, you know, maybe you have cliques and little things like that when you're like 13, but most people who've lived more life than they have ahead of them have learned a few things, so. Yeah. She doesn't record any of her hobbies. She'll probably tell you she likes to read, too. Everyone throws that in that I know. Oh, one of my hobbies is reading. They haven't read a book in forever. Excuse me. So, we'll leave it around here. She's live now, so there will definitely be more coming out during the day. And definitely check in tomorrow. We're going to be live tomorrow, so She didn't get started on her reading. Yeah, she has therapy that day. I can't read today. I have therapy. I mean, I changed my mind. I'm driving 2 hours away, half stoned, with drugs in the car. She's very awkward. God love her. God love her. Well, Godspeed is all I can really say. If Chantal, if you're listening, and usually you're not because you're on camera more than you're not, hey, just ride it out. You can, every action to be more spiteful makes the whole situation worse. Every act of spite makes it worse, especially if they're not trying to like be in touch with you. And if she was manipulated by the two of them, Dee Dee was probably manipulated by him. Everyone's not responsible for their behavior, apparently. Everyone is being manipulated and coerced. Everybody. Were all the last girls? Like, was it the same thing? Yeah, she's awkward. I would have hung out with a girl like Chantal in college. A lot of drama, a lot of fun. She drives. So. Yeah, I know, Victoria, it's different. So thank you all for coming. This was not a recorded video. Life happens. And I was just happy to have some time to sit down with you guys and just BS, catch up on a few little things, and then if anyone had information to share to help actually me fill in the blanks. So, Shellbell, thank you. Yes, I turned 40. Finally. So, and as someone older than Chantal, I have advice. I'm like 3 minutes older than her. She's 38, I think. Do a run 180 and run as fast as possible. Yeah. Well, thanks for being here tonight, everybody. Please do subscribe, hit the notification bell. You'll get alerts when we have new videos and if we go live unexpectedly again. You can follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Our email address, contact information, all that stuff's listed below as well if you want to check out there. This is going to come down for probably about 45 minutes, half an hour, and then I'll put it back up public. So, thank you, 40 looks good. Not bad. It's my bone structure. Thank y'all for being here, and we'll see you tomorrow at 6 for our regular open discussion live. Okay? Thanks for coming, everybody. 171 of you. The fact that there's this many people even listening or lurking is impressive to me. So, thank y'all again, and have a good night, okay? Bye.